Hi Aries, this is your Mid June 2019 reading. Aries, as we have been talking about it for the last couple of months, we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in your house of adventure, in your house of travel, in your house of education. We are working towards expanding our sphere, expanding our mind, expanding our sphere of influence in terms of what we do. Even if we stay with the same job, with the same profession, with the same career line, we are looking to expand what kind of risk we can take in that so we can expand our knowledge about that subject. More importantly, we are ripe for taking a leap of faith. And this has been in making since January 2019 when Jupiter and Neptune met together for the first time in 13 years. They are in an aspect which is known to dissolve old ideologies by which our societies run. We are in historic times. We are in the midst of written history, writing history right now. And we are part of that. We are part of that history because Saturn, Pluto, and South Node together in your house of career are creating a completely different destiny for you. Jupiter and Neptune together, they're giving you the inspiration to expand your mind, to dissolve an old identity and go for a different profession, go for a different line, go for an inspired path in your life. At the start of this year in January, when they met for the first time, Jupiter and Neptune seeded a seed for a new inspiration in your life, a new path that you're supposed to take. They together question our faith, question our old path, question the very life that we are living right now, because the aim is to dissolve the old self identity and create a new one. It can be taken as an existential crisis or a crisis of subconscious. But what's happening in this crisis of consciousness is that as a society, we are being reborn. And for your sign specifically, we are looking to have a rebirth in what we think is our purpose of life. What is our purpose of life? And through this crisis, which is mental in nature, we are being forced and pushed to think in a different fashion. Now in June, they're meeting for the second time. The second meeting of Jupiter and Neptune in the 9-month process of birthing a new life purpose for us is the period when we are questioned on how we have handled that process so far and do we need to shift the approach. Are there any new direction, new hints, new discussions which are coming our way which show us a turning point in how we want to take this forward going forward? This is where the gestation and shift in direction comes. Neptune aims to tell us that we are not who we were previously. They're dissolving our past. So when the past is dissolved, an existential crisis is felt in terms of who am I? Who am I supposed to be going forward? Because the forward path has not unfolded fully in front of us. Even though we have hints in terms of where we want to go, we have highest aspiration, idealistic, humanitarian, creative, spiritual aspirations of where we want to go. But the details of it may not have unfolded right now. That's where Jupiter throws a light. It tells you, I know who you are. It tells you that you are an adventurer, that you are a world which is bigger than your current existence. You are a world within you. You are a teacher. You are a mentor. You are a person of faith. You are enthusiastic about travel, learning, finding higher meaning. You are an idealistic who's motivated and has higher mind and optimistic philosophy to completely go for a different line in your life. And you're ready for that. It is infusing new faith in your path. More importantly, there might be certain karmic discussions, karmic meetings this month which give you a directional change, a directional shift in terms of where we are supposed to go. Because this is a cadent month. A cadent month is when our houses which grow with us are activated, where we receive inputs on how to improve where we are going, how to get to this epic journey in the most effective manner. You are a fighting warrior on an epic journey. And the directional shifts in terms of where you want to go and how you will get there, those hints come when these two meet together. There is an over the top energy that is created to dissolve the old way of doing things, a test of faith, because the old faith is being questioned. And then it is tested whether you're sure about this. Are you sure about where you're going? Are you sure this is what you want to do? There's a test of faith which can feel like a temporary setback sometimes. Or it could be some new information that is coming through, which tests you that are you sure about going for this path? The result is, with an eye on that journey, certain amount of fears of dissolving our old identity, they are removed. Because you cannot go into an expansive journey with fears and doubts and subconscious belief that it's not going to work. That dissolution comes through a difficult creative process, a difficult creative birthing from now all the way till September, when the final meeting of these two finalize your life purpose in terms of where you're going. We are in the middle of a creative process of facing a challenge to our faith, realizing there are no shortcuts to the success, working through it, internal push to regain it back, self-questioning, readjusting, leading to new discoveries and creations. This is a difficult creative process that leads us to our life purpose. And the life purpose is supposed to have higher meaning for us. It is supposed to be idealistic to some extent. It has to have adventure, excitement that keeps you going for a longer period of time than now. You're looking at your next 30 years when Saturn is in your house of career. It is creating the foundation of what you would do for the next 30 years of your life. It will, of course, go through modification and changes as life progresses, but the general purpose, the direction, is set with that. And that does not come through an easy process, because we are learning a new meaning of life. And in June, our mind is focused, our thinking, our belief is focused. We're coming out of an old way of thinking, and our risk-taking capability is being enhanced with Jupiter in our 9th house and the full moon that is happening on 17th of June in our house of faith, in our house of purpose. It is prompting us to take a leap of faith. It is giving us a confidence so we can go ahead and end an old chapter in our career and initiate a completely new chapter of our life. Neptune is very strong this month because it's about to go retrograde on 21st of June. And when that happens, the best and worst of our inner world are exposed to us. The fears, the phobias, the subconscious challenges and blockages to our going forward, they are exposed to us. But at the same time, our intuition is higher, spirituality is higher, enthusiasm is high. We are inspired to dissolve this old identity and go for the new. You will see through your own hidden talents and gifts that the higher powers beyond you have given you. Your ability to heal, your ability to do things out of sheer intuition, which is strong inside you. Because when Neptune is so strong, even though there is confusion around us, inside us we know for sure where we are supposed to go. There is a light which is ignited in our heart, in our intuition, and this is our sixth sense which is woken up to know what is right for us. And Saturn meets it along with this to put all of this in tangible format. This inspiration that you feel, the spirituality you feel, this creativity you feel, these hidden talents that you have discovered, these phobias that you're dissolving, this old identity that you're dissolving. How do I bring this about in a career that is long lasting for me? How do I bring it into a tangible format, a physical format that can be recognized in the material world? This is Saturn-Neptune meeting together and Jupiter-Neptune meeting together, the two critical synods which are defining this year apart from Saturn and Pluto in your house of career. This is going to show up in the way history is written of our world. We will see a turning point. This is a period which is historic both for your personal life as well as for world, even because of so many synods which define global events and shifts in our life happening together, and they're happening as a precursor to the eclipses that are happening in July. So we're getting ready for it right now. We're getting ready for a major shift in our critical axis, which comes with the eclipses in July, on our career and our place of living. There's a shift required in our risk-taking capability, our faith, our ability to take a leap of faith before you get to the change in July. And as I said, this is a cadent period, so we are shifting. Our mindset is changing. Our way of approaching this new life is shifting. And Neptune is trying to make sure that as much as you're sensitive right now in your inner psyche, you are becoming stronger and stronger in your intention to dissolve your old life. There is a huge sensitivity which will be there right now all the way to the eclipses in your inner world. So you will get the undercurrents very easily. We catch the hidden meaning of what's happening around us much easily. The intuition is very high. So you need to sort of flush that out to some extent, because you catch both the positive influences as well as the negative influences. How do we do that? We take some period away from all of this noise, even if for a few moments, to define where we want to go. We detox this energy that we are catching, the undercurrents that we are catching, and we are absorbing from anywhere else. You will find this in practical use. Try it for a day when you're sitting amongst people and you're working, and then you go for 15 minutes in a secluded place and work. You will find a difference in your efficiency. And it is natural, but more so right now because you are heightened in your sensitivity of catching this undercurrent from your surroundings. And you need to flush that out on a regular basis. You might be looking to have more interest in psychology, in spirituality, in astrology, in metaphysics, in reincarnation, in yoga. All of these help release these negative undercurrents which might be bringing you down, because Neptune in 12th, when our old psyche, our old ideology, our old persona is being dissolved, our past is being dissolved, and that leads in some ways to a feeling of loss, because we are losing something that we thought was our identity. When that happens, we are psychologically impacted. We can, to some extent, feel that we are losing control of our life and reality. So I'm warning you about a few things that come with it, which we need to be on lookout for. We can become a person who's saying, this is fate. This is fate. And a lot of it is, these are fated times. But we are being taught to have more faith in on higher powers, yes, on fate, on destiny, on spirituality, on faith, on higher powers, but not by losing control of our life, not losing ourselves and resigning to fate, which we need to be very, very careful about. Demand your personal power and input in the things that are happening in your life. Your will and ability to do things as a fire sign is what makes you you. This is a hidden side of you that is being evoked to help you be you in a better fashion by believing in something greater than you, but it doesn't mean resigning to fate. Because resigning to fate will make you feel defeated inside, and that is something you want to be careful about. The second warning of Neptune visiting here and being very strong now all the way till eclipse season in July is that we can get a little bit into daydreaming. So our creative side is being excited, but what happens is that sometimes we lose grip of what's happening on a day-to-day fashion because of that, which you want to be careful about. It's very useful for creative, but stay on a plan, create a plan in your career, moving structured in a structured way, because Saturn is there. Saturn demands structure in your career. Staying in a structured fashion, organizing your day in terms of what you want to achieve, putting goals, putting a vision board right in front of you where you can see it in terms of which month you want to get where, that will help you stay grounded in terms of what you want to get out of this beautiful expansive energy. From now all the way till September is the time to manifest. It is the time to manifest. So create a vision board of what you want to create out of this beautiful energy. What do you want to achieve in the next couple of months all the way till September? In fact, this month, this weekend, we had a grand water trine in our house of endings. There is an ease that we are leaving a life behind and going into a different persona. So it's this full moon of 17th of June is like a rebirth for us. It's very deep, it's very personal, it's very emotional. It challenges you to let go of old dependencies and develop trust in your future. Be ready for it. Be reborn with it. And there's an easier rebirth which is happening as a result of it being in positive aspect with us. We are asking for it. We are asking for this rebirth. So create a plan, because it's easy to lose grip with the day-to-day. Neptune sees beauty, third warning, or positivity. Neptune sees beauty in everything. We can see beauty where we desire. So if there's a situation, a task even that you don't like to do, but you're doing it, finding meaning and finding beauty in that task can help you do this enormously well, even if it's a mundane task. But at the same time, if you feel let down in some ways, if you feel that it's getting too much, looking at a sunset, looking at sea, looking at stars, looking at beauty in church or in a beautiful place that inspires you can completely revitalize you physically. We have a choice to see beauty where others don't, in a spiritual manner, in a manner that uplifts us, and use that in some ways. We can use that in practical ways. We can use that to help us. We can use that to dissolve the old negativity, dissolve any fear. So every time I do this, I'm a Aries sun and moon myself. When I feel this for myself, the one thing that I do is go closer to water. If I feel scared about where I'm going, if the old fears prop up, if the doubts prop up, if the subconscious belief system gets woken up and it bothers us, the first thing to do is go closer to water, look at sunset, look at the beauty where nobody else sees it but you do, because you will be seeing beauty beyond eyes right now and it will heal you right now. The fourth thing is that Neptune in the 12th is all about charity. It's about doing something selflessly for someone. So the acts of charity can inspire you. It can help you. Volunteering somewhere in a hospital, in an old age home, or just planning to help somebody in some ways. Helping someone who in a spiritual manner, in a healing manner, or just physically volunteering in a hospital, in a age home, or planning places where we are custodian of beautiful things like museum, art galleries, etc. That can actually help and uplift you, and that is in line with this energy which is helping us uplift, grow spiritually, and bring that spirituality, this idealism, this you discovering a new angle of you, the hidden talents within you, the hidden strength within you, bringing that in a practical way to your reality, to your career, to your day-to-day. Because the challenge is, can we use this inner awakening that we are having it? Can we show it in our faith? Can we show it in published material? Can we show it in our travels? Can we show it in our sense of adventure? Can we show it in the terms of leap of faith that we're taking in our practical life? Can we show it in our education? Can we show this more expansive way of doing things and coming out of old way of thinking in an increased increase in our risk appetite in our life, which reflects in our thinking, which reflects in our talk, which reflects in our day-to-day environment, which reflects in how we handle our day-to-day life. So we are moving from loss of fear to faith to more education to day-to-day life, reflecting all of this highest inspiration and idealism. And that brings me to the full moon that is happening on 17th of June, which is under the influence of this expansive aspect, as well as the 2nd of July eclipse is under the influence of this aspect as well. So it was important to understand that for us to understand what's happening in the coming months. The full moon of 17th of June brings to life an adventure. It brings to life a very, very positive karmic path for us. It's full of faith. There is no proof required here because we know within ourselves that that is our calling. That is our path. So that path comes to fruition. It is a manifesting full moon. It is adventurous. It is active. It's restless to experience life in a completely different way. It's restless to run our causes. It is optimistic. It wants travel. It wants big picture. It wants new adventure. It is spontaneous. It's a little bit over the top and on the spur and a little bit impulsive, but it can result in something very positively manifested, provided it has the higher ideals in it and some element of creativity and risk taking here. So it could be publishing, it could be sports, it could be higher education, it could be you legalizing, moving to a different country altogether and deciding to become a citizen of the world. This is you deciding to travel for higher purpose in education. This is you maybe going for an opportunity of more learning on the same job by taking up a job that expands your mind. It could be opportunity coming through a mentor, through a foreign person. This is you finding meaning and purpose and feeling enthusiastic about learning, travel, publication, legalization, and the belief in abundance of this universe is reinstated with this. There is a motivation, a higher mind that is activated and brought to light. We are moving away from the mundane. We are moving away from the day-to-day and going for our higher ideals for your epic journey. It is very idealistic and a little bit over the top. Something that you initiated, a path that you initiated either 6 months back or all the way back from 7th of December 2017 is finally coming to its logical output and conclusion. Your belief system comes to light. What motivates you? What keeps you? You're finishing a study, a course, a growth path that you embarked on to expand your knowledge. You're completing some dealings, possibly even legal dealings. It is opening you up to new ideals and a completely new path of what's possible for you. And you'll feel very compelled to do it. If you have already opened up in the past, you have already walked a path that you thought is your purpose. Now you see a growth in it. You see the next stage in it. You see the results of the work done. Because full moons are all about giving birth. They are about seeing results, manifestation, and this is a very positively aspected full moon. This is happening at 26 degree of Sagittarius, which in Sambian astrology is known for a flag bearer in a battle. So you'll be very idealistic. You'll be standing up to any kind of intimidation, any kind of people trying to block your path. You will be on a mission here. You have an understanding of where you want to go. You have an understanding of your personal truth, and you will retaliate even if somebody is holding you away from that. You will hold yourself and others to a higher standards. You have the courage of your conviction, and that helps you stand for truth as you know it in any situation and against any opponent of any magnitude. Some amount of secrets could come out, or some sort of knowledge, additional information could be revealed as a part of this full moon as well. At 26 degree of Sagittarius, the most benefited Aries would be 15th to 16th, around 15th or 16th of April born. So few days before, 2 or 3 days before 15th of April, 2 or 3 days after 15th of April. Similarly, 2 or 3 degrees before 26 degree of Aries and a few degrees after. If you're a Aries rising, sun, or moon, you will be filled with this need to do something different. And there is a blindness because this is happening at a star which causes blindness to what we see. But the blindness leads us to see beyond what we have in front of us. It's aspirational. It is inspirational. The thing to keep in mind of is that the energy is over the top. We will be over idealizing how easy it would be right now. This is something to keep in mind of, that this is a start, this is an adventure which will undergo its changes as we embark upon it. There will be shifts and modifications required as we go by, but we will get there. By September, we are giving birth to this new purpose in our life with concrete results. But now you are embarking upon that adventure to bring fruits to it. So this is what is happening with the full moon. In parallel to the full moon, we have strong amount of energy on your critical axis of home, family, and career activating to get you ready for the eclipse that is coming in July, which activates this axis as well. Because the shifts in your home and family and career are about to come, karmic shifts are about to come with the eclipses in July, and some of those karmic discussions and actions are already started now. We spoke about it in the new moon video as well as in the Angarka Yog video, which started from 12th of June, which started activating this axis, which started activating the eclipses. And you will see full activation of those eclipses in this week, when we have Mars Mercury charging you up, revving you up to go after what you truly need. It is very, very exciting, but very, very pressurizing as well. There's a discussion on your life path happening at home, within yourself, with your family, as well as certain people of power. Because you're trying to figure out, does it fill your cup? Is the way it's being done fulfills your emotional desires, your comfort, your family needs, your safety. And that is in focus. What makes you happy, makes you feel fulfilled and safe. And that is where the North Node is taking care of you, your family, your home, and your personal fulfillment, your spiritual growth, your inner world comes over and above how it looks to the world. You're releasing the need to be, for your career path, your life path to be something for others to look at. It is something that you want to feel fulfilled in. And that is the road to success when we have North Node in our inner world. The road to success is where North Node is. And the road to success for you is to look after your safety, your desires, your fulfillment, versus how it looks to a rule, regulation, and authority figure. Even though you're giving your best, as you always do, to your career path, it has to be about you. So there might be certain pulls and push when that happen, because you try to emphasize the fact that you want to do things which make you happy. So as the authority of your life is changing, as you are being recognized and told in no uncertain terms that you run your life, and that is the road to success, you running your life, there will be powerful people, there will be authority figures, there will be rules and regulations of the organization you're part of or the society you're part of that pulls you back. So this push and pull will be there this week. But that results in status change. That results in changes. That results in powerful changes at work. Because you are having lessons in self-assertion. Lessons in asking for what you truly want. And with Mars and Mercury together, the positive thing is that you can get deeper to the root of issues and figure out a solution. You can find the right way to do things. There is desire, there's curiosity, there is drive, there is motivation, there's physical endurance. You can do a lot more this week than you have ever done before in the last couple of months. You can go deep, investigate. Strong actions and follow through are shown on your life path this week. We are very decisive, very strong. We will almost surprise ourselves and others with the kind of actions we will take, because we have a lot of energy being released here in our favor for our karmic path. But we have to be careful about the too quick to speak and act here and over promising things. Combative arguments driven by security, insecurity will be high. Impatience will be high. Impulsiveness will be high. Nervous energy will be high. We will feel obsessive about getting things done. And while information is still revealing itself, as I said, there is stuff that still needs to come out. There will be over the top energy because of that full moon, which is asking us to take a risk. But we do not want to burn our bridges here. So use this effectively in the situation, especially when there are conflicts with powerful people which come across, especially if you are excited into anger or unveiling a power issue which comes into front this week. People will be very reactive and aggressive this week, and be ready for that. This is especially going to impact people having planets from 16 degree all the way till 24. I'm using a wider arm, but we want to be careful about this energy. This is a very, very productive energy, provided we stay the high road. 16 degree is around 7th of April born, all the way till about 15th of April. So 7th to 14th or 15th of April, born Aries, or from 16 degree to 24 degree, especially 21 degree to 24 degree, especially 22, 23 degree, which is 12, 13, 14th of April. You want to be careful about power struggles this week, but you can get a lot more done. The focus is very strong, especially on 18th and 19th. The focus and service and the volatile energy, you are able to get that together and make it into a physical format. The opposition you need and see, use that as your drive. Use that as your drive to deliver your best. Because you can deliver your best. You are conditioned, you are created, your roadmap is created to deliver your best. Then on 21st of June, we have Sun move into Cancer. A lot of focus is there on your home and family while this is happening. Home and family and your inner world are the way career direction, the way the career direction is molding itself, is that satisfying you or not? That will be a topic of discussion which will go back and forth over the course of next 9 weeks. Your place of living, the people in your house, the way you parent, the way you deal with your parents as well as your children. How's that family connection working out as we try to walk this path, as the career highlight is there? So Mercury will be going retrograde in the month of July, from 7th of July all the way till end of July, which means that we will be going back and forth and reviewing some of the discussions that will be happening from 20th of June all the way till 7th of July. So remember that the discussion, the documentation, the finalization of things that is happening right now, they are subjected to change and some renewal, some review. More importantly, our emotional impulses. If there's something impulsive we do, especially when it comes to power struggles or just at home, if there are strifes that might happen, or just our emotional impulses, maybe we are not taking a risk when we should. That comes under question, review and reconsideration in July. So starting from 20th of this month all the way till 7th of July, watch out for what you're signing on. Watch out for what we're discussing. The karmic discussions that are happening right now, they will require to be refined, and that is especially true if you have planets between 24 degree of Aries all the way till 30 degrees of Aries. So end degrees of Aries, people born around 13th to 14th of April, all the way till about 21st of April, you'll experience this back and forth. For people born towards end degree of Aries, or from 13th of April all the way till 20th, 21st of April, it might be an area of place of living, your home, your family structure, real estate, documentation of your lease, documentation of something in the house, discussion of whether this job is making you feel good, secure, happy or not. Family equation in terms of how the family is supporting you while you're going through that change. All of that will go through back and forth. But the early degree Aries, around the initial few degrees, might have this in the area of their children. Something related to your child, your equation with your child, the discussion, rediscussion with your child. And that will happen from 26th of June till about 19th of July. It's possible that a subject related to your children might come into back and forth. It could be related to your risk-taking appetite as well. But especially early degree, so March born Aries, if you have any children, if you have a creative project going on right now, or if you have a romance somewhere where you took a risk, that risk appetite, that passion, the passion of your life goes through back and forth. It could be a child, it could be a romance, it could be a creative venture for March born or early degree Aries. But overall for us, when on 26th of June we have Mercury move into Leo and then our ruler Mars move into Leo at the start of July, it all becomes about risk taking. It becomes about taking risk on our passions. It becomes about working towards our joy. We want to get more joy out of what we do in work. We want to get more joy out of our romances, or romance, hopefully. We want to get more joy when we interact with our children, and that becomes a topic on the top of our mind from 26th of June all the way till 19th of July, especially in that period. Apart from that, between 22nd to 25th of June, there might be some financial commercial matter which might come under discussion or decision making. Maybe a commercial new start that happened or a communication that you did in the early part of the month that comes for creative embellishment. This is an excellent time from 22nd to 25th of June to actually launch a creative project, creative or even a commercial project. There is a lot of creative energy, positive energy, over the top energy available in your communication sector between 26th to 25th of June. I would take that opportunity to launch something commercial, launch something creative when it comes to communication area. You have support of a lot of people. Even normal day-to-day communication is loving. It's easier at that time. Energy becomes easier after 22nd for you. And that is especially true if you have planets between 17 degree to 19 degree of Aries, which is around 8th to 10th of April. I'll use those dates to sort of launch something commercially, financially, creatively, or even in terms of romance. It's Venus, it could be love. But if something new is coming at that time, something new is introduced, a new romance is introduced, a new commercial proposition is introduced to you between 22nd to 25th of June, you want to be careful about that. You want to review it thoroughly. You want to wait for it. You know it will go back and forth. So be ready for that. On 25th, 26th of April, we have Aries moon, a new start and a new beginning. We are going into eclipse season with a lot of energy in our persona, in our being. We're ready to take a risk. And that risk begins with 2nd of July when we have a solar eclipse, a new start in our inner world. 2nd of July, solar eclipse is a beautiful, beautiful new start. It's a beautiful new start in our home, family, our inner world. But going into this eclipse around 27th of June, we have Sun and Chiron meeting each other in this very area of your life, in your home and family. So think to when you're doing this new start in July, burn off the old hurt. Do not carry forward the old identity wound in this life. This new life that is beginning for you, there is no space of past hurt, of this past feeling that I was not recognized for my unique talents. I was not recognized for my uniqueness. There is no space for that. There is space for this new innovation in your wealth, in your resources, in your talents that is coming to you. There is new ideation that is coming for you, looking out for what's coming in the future and not letting the past failure hold you back when these eclipses happen, because eclipses are meant to accelerate our path to our destiny. So we have to use them effectively. So from 27th of June, be a little bit careful of, because when we are trying to get onto a new phase in our life, the old hurt, the old failure sometimes latches on, which is what you want to be careful about. But it is something that is meant to propel you forward. There are certain things in our career, in our responsibility, in our way of functioning when it comes to our authority at work that need to be released, and they will be part of the 16th of July eclipse, which is happening in your career house. Now, the 2nd of July eclipse is focused on giving you oomph in your inner life, giving you a new impetus in your inner life, giving you faith and confidence to go more and expand your home and family to support your career. Or in some cases, release a career that is not serving you well and do something from home. Do something related to real estate. Do something which is maybe not a career. Bringing up a child is a huge responsibility in itself. But I'm not saying that is the only way to do things. That is one of the options that open up with the 2nd of July solar eclipse. Especially true if your planets around 10 or 11 degree of Aries, which is around 1st of April born. Then on 16th of July is when our career is highlighted. A new path is highlighted. We bring to close an old chapter in our career and begin a new expansive one where we are releasing, letting go an old way of being in our career. This is especially true if you have planets around 24 degree of Aries, which is around 14th or 15th of April born, 2 or 3 degrees before and after. Similarly, the 2nd of July is around 1st of April or 10-11 degree, 2 or 3 days before, 2 or 3 days after. 16th of July, around 24 degree of Aries, 14th or 15th of April born, few days before, few days after, 2 or 3 days before and after. So these are trigger points, but eclipses are felt by all of us. So all of you will feel it in your critical axis, whether you are a Aries rising, Aries sun or Aries moon. This is an important juncture. I would want you to be ready for this, and that is what we do this week. So good luck for that, Aries, and I'll see you in the eclipse season now. Thank you.